I wake up smiling. Today is my wedding day. For a few seconds, I just lie there and stare at the ceiling. You're the luckiest man alive, I whisper to myself. I actually believe it. Daniel bangs on my door. Groomzilla, are you alive in there? Come in, I laugh. He walks in holding a garment bag. You slept? On your wedding day? That's illegal. I slept like a king, I say. Because today I marry the love of my life. He studies my face. You really love her. I do. Clara told me once I was her safe place. No one ever said that to me before. Daniel smirks. You met her in the most cliché way possible. At the campus library, I reply. She dropped her books. I helped her. She said, thanks, you saved me. I told her, maybe I'll save you again someday. And now you're marrying her, he says. I told you. I'm the luckiest man alive. He hands me my suit. Put this on before you start crying. I'm not crying. You will. As I dress, I remember Clara's voice from years ago. When I'm with you, I feel calm, she had said. You're my safe place. I built my whole future on those words. Daniel adjusts my tie. You nervous? No, you're lying. Okay, maybe a little, but in a good way. He lowers his voice. You're sure about everything, right? What does that mean? Nothing, he says quickly. Just, weddings are big. I've never been more sure of anything. My mother knocks softly before entering. She looks at me, and her eyes fill with tears. Mom, I say, smiling. Don't start. She cups my face. You look just like your father did on our wedding day. Is that good? It means you look happy. I am happy. She hesitates. Clara makes you happy? Yes. She nods slowly. Then that's enough for me. I hug her. Thank you for everything. She whispers. Whatever happens, remember who you are. Mom, nothing is going to happen. She forces a smile. Of course. When we reach the venue, music is already playing. Guests are seated. Everything looks perfect. Daniel nudges me. Still the luckiest man alive? Absolutely. Then I see Clara across the hall. She looks beautiful. White dress. Soft smile. But when our eyes meet, she looks away. I frown. Did you see that? See what? Daniel asks. She didn't smile. You're imagining things. Her phone buzzes in her hand. She checks it quickly, then turns her back to me. Who keeps texting her? I mutter. Probably friends, Daniel says. Relax. I try to relax. When she walks past me, I whisper, hey. She stops. Hi. You look incredible. Thank you. You okay? Of course. Why wouldn't I be? You just seem distant. She forces a laugh. It's a wedding. I'm nervous. I thought you said I was your safe place. She pauses for a second too long. You are. Her phone buzzes again. She steps aside to answer it. Hello, she whispers. I hear her say, not now. Please. I told you I made my choice. My chest tightens. I move closer, pretending not to listen. I can't keep doing this, she says softly. It's too late. My heart starts pounding. Daniel touches my shoulder. You okay? Yeah, I lie. Clara ends the call and looks at me. For a second, her eyes look guilty. Who was that? I ask. No one. That didn't sound like no one. She exhales. It's nothing. Just stress. Clara. She grabs my hand. Trust me. I search her face. I do. The wedding planner walks up. 5 minutes. Clara nods. She squeezes my hand once. Then let's go. I watch her walk toward the bridal room. Daniel leans in. Something feels off. Stop, I say. Don't ruin this. I'm not trying to. I try to shake the feeling in my chest. 5 minutes pass. Then 10. The music starts. Guests begin whispering. The wedding planner rushes past me. I grab her arm. Where's Clara? She looks confused. She's not with you? No. She went to the bridal room. We just checked. She's not there. My stomach drops. Daniel steps forward. What do you mean she's not there? The planner shakes her head. She's gone. I feel the room spin. Gone. I repeat. My mother walks toward me. What's happening? I swallow hard. I don't know. I say. And for the first time that morning, I no longer feel like the luckiest man alive. I knew something was wrong the moment I saw the empty bridal room. Where is she? I asked the wedding planner. She was just here, she said, avoiding my eyes. My chest tightened. Just here isn't good enough. Where is my fiancée? I stepped into the hallway and heard whispers before I saw the crowd forming near the main hall. Did you hear? She actually did it. No way. Not today. I pushed through them. Move. The doors to the hall were wide open. The guests weren't seated anymore. They were standing, phones raised, murmuring like they were watching a scandal unfold instead of my wedding. And then I saw her. Clara. Not alone. She was standing at the altar. With Adrian. For a second, I actually thought it was a joke. Some twisted surprise. Maybe he showed up to apologize for something from her past. But then I saw the priest. And I heard the words. Do you, Adrian, take Clara to be your lawful wedded wife? My ears rang. Adrian smiled. Calm, confident, like he had already won. I do. The world tilted. I stepped forward. Clara. She turned. Her eyes met mine, and there was no panic in them. No guilt. Just something steady. The priest continued, as if I wasn't even there. Do you, Clara, stop. My voice cracked, but it was loud enough. The hall went silent. Clara swallowed. Please don't make this harder. Harder. I laughed, but it came out broken. This is my wedding. Adrian stepped slightly in front of her. You should leave. I stared at him. You don't get to tell me to leave my own wedding. He didn't flinch. It's not your wedding anymore. The words hit harder than any slap. I looked at Clara. Tell me this isn't real. She closed her eyes for a second. I never meant to hurt you. That's not what I asked. Her voice shook, but she didn't step toward me. I never stopped loving him. The whispering started again. Oh my God, this is insane. I felt heat crawl up my neck. My mother was in the second row, pale, holding onto my father's arm. My friends stood frozen near the aisle, not knowing whether to defend me or disappear. You told me he was just your past, I said. He was, she replied softly. Was. She looked at Adrian. He reached for her hand, and she let him hold it. He's my future, she said. Something inside me cracked open. So everything? I asked. Every promise? Every I love you. Was that a lie? She shook her head. No. I loved you. I do love you. Not enough. Silence. Adrian squeezed her hand. Clara, we don't have to explain ourselves. Oh, you absolutely do, I snapped. You show up at my wedding and marry my fiancée in front of my family, and you think you don't owe me an explanation? He tilted his head. She chose. I laughed again. You manipulated her. Clara flinched. Don't blame him. I'm not blaming him, I said. I'm blaming you. Her eyes filled with tears, but she didn't move toward me. When did this start? I asked. She hesitated. When? I demanded. A month ago, she whispered. A month. We were finalizing seating charts a month ago. Tasting cakes. Sending thank you cards. You were sleeping next to me, I said quietly. She looked down. And loving him, I added. Adrian stepped forward. That's enough. I walked closer until we were face to face. You think you won? He smiled faintly. I didn't compete. I just waited. The arrogance in his voice made my hands curl into fists. You're proud of this? I asked him. I'm proud. She followed her heart. I turned back to Clara. Did you ever plan to tell me? I was going to, she said. When? After the honeymoon. Tears spilled down her cheeks. I tried to forget him. I tried to love you the way you deserved. But you couldn't. She shook her head. The priest cleared his throat awkwardly. Should we continue? I stared at him. Are you serious? Adrian answered instead. Yes. Continue. I looked around the room. Guests I had invited. Relatives who flew in for me. Decorations I had paid for. Flowers she had chosen with me. Everything felt like a stage set for my humiliation. I turned back to Clara one last time. Look at me, I said. She did. Was any of it real? She took a shaky breath. It was safe. Safe. Not passionate. Not forever. Safe. I was your backup plan, I said. That's not fair. It's exactly fair. Adrian leaned toward her. You don't have to justify loving me. I nodded slowly. No, she doesn't. I stepped back. My voice felt distant, like it belonged to someone else. Finish it. Clara's eyes widened. What? Marry him, I said. You already did. The priest, visibly uncomfortable, repeated the vows. I now pronounce you husband and wife. Applause started, hesitant at first, then stronger from Adrian's side of the guests. I stood there as he kissed her. I didn't cry. I didn't shout. I just felt empty. Clara pulled away from him and looked at me. I'm sorry. I nodded once. I hope he was worth it. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. Adrian wrapped an arm around her waist. We're done here. I looked at the exit. My father started walking toward me, but I raised a hand. Don't. My mother whispered my name, but I couldn't face her. I adjusted my tie. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, I said quietly. Thank you for making it unforgettable. Clara broke down completely then. Please, but I had nothing left to hear. I turned. Each step toward the door felt heavier than the last. The whispers followed me. Poor guy. I can't believe she did that. On his wedding day, I didn't look back. Not at the altar. Not at the guests. Not at the woman who chose someone else in front of the world. I walked out of my own wedding alone. I barely made it past the gates when I heard my name. Wait. I almost ignored it. I didn't want sympathy. I didn't want pity. Please, just give me a minute. I turned. Lena. She stood a few steps away from me, hands clasped tightly, like she was afraid I might disappear if she moved too fast. I let out a hollow laugh. This day just keeps getting better. I know I don't deserve to speak to you, she said softly, but I'm sorry. For which part? I shot back. College? Or today? Her face tightened. For all of it. I stared at her. Years ago, she had looked confident, sharp, untouchable. Now she looked smaller, quieter. You ruined my life once, I said. Do you remember that? I remember, she whispered. You told everyone I cheated. That I lied. That I used you. Tears filled her eyes. I was angry. I thought you were going to leave me. So you destroyed me first? She flinched. Yes. The honesty disarmed me for a second. I lost friends because of you. I continued. Professors looked at me differently. I stopped trusting people. I know, she said. I watched it happen. And you said nothing. I was ashamed. I laughed bitterly. That must have been heavy for you. I hated myself for it, she said. Every single day. I shook my head. You don't get to feel like the victim. I'm not, she replied quickly. You are. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The music from inside the venue drifted faintly into the night air. My wedding music. You came to watch? I asked. I came to apologize, she said. I heard you were getting married. I thought, maybe if you were happy, I could finally say sorry. Well, I said flatly, timing isn't your strength. Her eyes moved to my suit. I saw what happened. Of course you did. Everyone did. I'm so sorry. Stop saying that. I don't know what else to say. Nothing, I replied. You don't say anything. You walk away like you did before. She shook her head. I won't. Why? I demanded. Why now? Because I loved you, she said. The words hit harder than I expected. You had a strange way of showing it. I was immature. I was insecure. I thought if people believed you were terrible, you wouldn't leave me. And did that work out for you? No, I studied her face. There was no arrogance left. Just regret. You broke me, I said quietly. I know. And today she broke me again. Her voice trembled. You didn't deserve that. Apparently I deserve everything. That's not true, isn't it? I asked. First you, then her. Maybe I'm just easy to betray. Don't say that. Why not? It's consistent. She stepped closer. You're not easy to betray. You're easy to love. I looked away. Love doesn't seem to last. I never stopped feeling guilty, she continued. I tried to reach out so many times. You didn't. I was afraid you'd hate me. I did. She nodded. I know. Silence stretched between us again. I wanted to fix what I broke, she said softly. You can't fix years, I replied. Maybe not. But I can take responsibility. And then what? I don't know, she admitted. I just couldn't let you walk away tonight thinking you were the problem. I exhaled slowly. My chest felt tight, like everything inside me was colliding at once. Humiliation, anger, heartbreak. She chose him, I said. That doesn't mean you weren't enough. It feels like it. She shook her head. It means she was confused. It means she loved someone else. Lena swallowed. And I once pushed away someone who loved me. I looked at her sharply. Don't compare this. I'm not, she said quickly. I'm saying I understand what it's like to lose something good because of fear. And what did you learn? That running from love destroys more than facing it. I laughed under my breath. That's ironic. Why? Because I feel like running. From what? From everyone. She looked at me carefully. What are you thinking? I hesitated. If she can marry her first love, I said slowly, then I can marry someone who once broke me. Her eyes widened. What? You heard me. That's not funny. I'm not joking. She stared at me like I'd lost my mind. You're hurt. Yes. You're angry. Yes. And you want to marry me? I want to prove I'm not the one left behind. That's not a reason to marry someone. It's a reason to survive tonight. She shook her head, overwhelmed. You don't even trust me. Trust is overrated, I said. Commitment is public. This isn't revenge, she asked carefully. Maybe it is, I admitted. Or maybe it's me refusing to stand here alone. You'd tie your life to mine just to prove a point? I'd tie my life to someone who already knows how badly they can hurt me. That's twisted. So is getting married to someone else at your own wedding. She covered her mouth, thinking. I don't deserve this, she whispered. Neither did I. She looked straight at me. If I say yes, what would this be? An agreement, I said. Two broken people choosing not to be broken alone. And love. I don't have that to offer tonight. She hesitated. And tomorrow? I don't know. Her breathing grew uneven. You'd really do this? Yes. You're serious? Yes. Silence hung heavy between us. Finally, she asked, almost afraid of the answer. What exactly are you proposing? Marry me, I said. Lena stared at me like I had stepped off the edge of sanity. Tonight? Yes. You're serious. I've never been more serious. This is insane, she whispered. So was what just happened inside. She searched my face. You're hurt. I am. And you think this will fix it? I think it will stop me from feeling like the only fool left standing. She hesitated. If I say yes, you can't throw this in my face later. I won't. You don't love me. Not right now. And I don't know if I deserve you. That makes two of us. She inhaled shakily. Why me? Because you already broke me once, I said. There's nothing left to shatter. That's not romantic. I'm not offering romance. She looked toward the venue doors. People will talk. They already are. And if this is revenge, maybe it is, I admitted. Or maybe it's survival. She stepped closer. If I walk into this, I'm not walking in as your weapon. You won't be. Promise. I promise. Silence pressed between us. Finally, she said, Okay. Okay. Yes. My heart didn't race. It didn't soar. It just felt heavy. Let's do it before I lose my nerve, she murmured. An hour later, I stood in a small registrar's office down the street, still wearing my wedding suit. Daniel burst through the door. Tell me this is a joke. It's not. He looked at Lena, then back at me. You're actually marrying her? Yes. Today? Yes. After what just happened? Yes. He dragged a hand through his hair. Are you doing this for love or revenge? I didn't answer. Say something, he demanded. I'm doing it, I said quietly. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have. He lowered his voice. You don't trust her. I know. And she destroyed you once. I remember. So why? I looked at Lena. She stood stiffly, hands clasped, eyes uncertain but steady. Because she stayed, I said. Daniel stared at me. This won't erase what Clara did. I'm not trying to erase it. Then what are you trying to do? Move. The clerk cleared her throat. Are you ready? I nodded. Lena's voice trembled. Yes. The vows were simple. No flowers. No music. No audience of hundreds. Just ink and signatures. When I slid the ring onto Lena's finger, my hand shook slightly. Do you? The clerk asked. I do, I said. Lena swallowed. I do. And just like that, it was done. Outside, Daniel grabbed my arm. You've officially lost your mind. Probably. You didn't even think. I thought too much. He looked at Lena. Are you okay with this? She met his gaze. I don't know. At least she's honest, he muttered. I turned to him. Go home, Daniel. You're my best friend. I know. And I'm scared you're making the biggest mistake of your life. Maybe I am. He sighed. If this blows up, I'll say I told you so. I expect nothing less. He walked away, shaking his head. That night, Lena and I sat in my apartment living room. My apartment, not ours. The silence was louder than any argument. You don't have to sit so far away, I said finally. I'm giving you space. I married you. That doesn't erase history. I nodded. She glanced at me. Do you regret it? It's been 3 hours. That's not an answer. I leaned back. I don't know what I feel. Angry. Yes. At me? Partly. She absorbed that without defending herself. I don't trust you, I admitted. You shouldn't. And that scares me. It scares me too, she whispered. Why did you say yes? Because I still care, she said. And because you looked like you were drowning. I was. And I didn't want you alone. I studied. Her face. No triumph. No calculation. Just guilt. My ex-wife will hear about this, I said bitterly. Lena winced at the word. Ex-wife. Technically. She'll react. She already did enough. My phone buzzed. Daniel. She knows, I said. Lena's voice tightened. What did she say? I read the message silently. What? She asked. She said, "You're unbelievable." Lena looked down. Does that bother you? It shouldn't. But it does. Yes. She nodded slowly. Then she still has power. I hated that she was right. For the first time, Lena added quietly, she's the one reacting to you. I met her eyes. You didn't chase her, she continued. You didn't beg. I didn't have the strength. You walked away and married someone else. That wasn't strategy. Maybe not, she said. But it shifted something. I felt it too, a strange, subtle balance changing. Clara had chosen publicly. And so had I. Don't think this means I'm healed, I warned. I don't. Don't think this means I forgive you. I don't. And don't think I'll forget. I won't ask you to. We sat in silence again. Finally she asked, where do I sleep? The question hung heavy. You can take the bedroom, I said. And you? I'll take the couch. She hesitated. We're married. I know. But we're not that. Not yet, I replied. She stood slowly. Thank you. For what? For not pretending this is something it's not. I gave a tired nod. At the bedroom door, she paused. I don't want to hurt you again. You already did. I know, she said softly. I won't do it twice. The door closed gently. I leaned back on the couch, staring at the ceiling. I didn't know if I had just taken control of my life or destroyed it further. All I knew was this. I wasn't the one left at the altar anymore. 3 months after I married Lena, Daniel walked into my office without knocking. You heard, he asked. Heard what? Clara. I kept typing. What about her? He leaned against my desk. Things aren't perfect. I laughed dryly. They weren't perfect on day one. I'm serious, he said. Adrian's been intense. Intense how? Possessive. Checking her phone. Showing up everywhere. I stopped typing. Who told you? Mark. He saw them arguing at dinner. People argue. Not like that. I leaned back. Why are you telling me this? Because you deserve to know. Know what? That her fairy tale has cracks. He studied me. Does that make you feel better? I didn't answer. Later that evening, I sat across from Lena at the kitchen table. She was reviewing documents for my new project. You didn't have to help, I said. I wanted to, she replied. Your presentation is tomorrow. You have work too. I finished. I watched her highlight a line. She didn't ask about Clara. She never did unless I brought it up. Daniel came by, I said. She looked up calmly. About Clara. She nodded once. Okay. That's it. What do you want me to say? I don't know. Something. She closed the folder. Are you okay? I'm fine. Are you? I exhaled. Apparently Adrian is controlling. She didn't smile. That doesn't surprise me. Why? You told me he always needed to win. I remembered saying that years ago. People are saying she looks tired, I added. Lena's voice softened. That's sad. Sad. Yes. She chose him. That doesn't mean she deserves to suffer. I studied her. You don't hate her? No, she humiliated me. I know. And you don't hate her. She shook her head. I know what it's like to make a terrible choice. That's generous. It's honest. Silence settled between us. Do you ever regret this? I asked suddenly. She didn't pretend not to understand. Us? Yes. She considered it. I regret how it started. Not the marriage. No, why? Because I get to try, she said quietly. I didn't get that chance before. With me? Yes. I looked down at my hands. I still don't fully trust you. I know. And you're still here. Yes. Why? Because trust isn't demanded, she said. It's built. You're patient. I wasn't before. I nodded slowly. A week later, I heard more. She left a party early. Daniel told me over coffee. Adrian accused her of flirting. With who? With the waiter. I stared at him. You're kidding. I wish I was. I felt something twist inside me. Not satisfaction. Something else. Do you miss her? Daniel asked. No, that wasn't convincing. I miss who I thought she was, I admitted. That's different. Yes. When I got home, Lena was sitting on the couch reading. You're late, she said gently. Work. She nodded. I made dinner. It's in the oven. You didn't have to. I wanted to. I sat beside her. Why do you keep doing that? Doing what? Showing up. She closed her book. Because I chose this. So did I? Did you? She asked softly. The question lingered. I chose not to be alone, I said. And now? I don't know. She met my eyes. If you ever decide you married me for the wrong reasons, tell me. That's not something people admit easily. I'd rather hear the truth than live in a lie. Her words echoed in my head long after she went to bed. Another month passed. Rumors grew louder. They're fighting constantly, Daniel said. He checks her location. He doesn't let her meet friends alone. I clenched my jaw. That's not love. No, why would she accept that? Maybe she's realizing she romanticized him. I thought about that word. Romanticized. I had done the same. With Clara. With the idea of forever. That night, Lena handed me a draft of my proposal. I reorganized the ending, she said. It's stronger. I read it. It was better. Thank you, I said. She smiled faintly. You don't have to thank your wife. I do when she improves my work. She hesitated. Can I ask you something? Sure. If Clara came back and said she made a mistake, what would you do? The question hit harder than I expected. I don't know, I admitted. She nodded slowly. That's honest. Does that scare you? Yes, she said. But I'd rather know. I wouldn't run back, I added. But I'm still untangling what I feel. She looked down at her hands. I can live with that. For now. Why? Because you're not the man who walked out of that wedding anymore. What am I? Someone thinking instead of reacting. Her words settled inside me. Later that night, my phone buzzed again. A message from a mutual friend. They're not okay. I stared at the screen. Lena noticed. More news. Yes. She didn't ask for details. Instead, she said, you don't have to compete anymore. I'm not competing. Then stop measuring. I looked at her. Stop asking whether this was revenge or fate, she continued. Just ask whether you're growing. And am I? She gave a small, careful smile. You don't look broken anymore. I leaned back, thinking about the man who had walked out of his own wedding. Was this marriage born from pain? Yes. But pain wasn't the only thing here anymore. Clara had chosen her past. I had chosen something uncertain. And slowly, without me noticing, the balance had shifted. Not because she was falling, but because I was standing. A sharp knock echoed through my apartment at midnight. Lena looked up from the couch. Are you expecting someone? No, the knock came again, urgent. I'll get it, I said. When I opened the door, my breath caught. Clara. She stood there shaking, mascara streaked, eyes swollen. Can I come in? She whispered. I hesitated for half a second, then stepped aside. Come in. She walked past me slowly. Lena stood in the hallway, silent. Clara's eyes flickered toward her, then back to me. I need to talk to you. Lena spoke calmly. I'll be in the bedroom. She didn't look at me for permission. She just walked away quietly. The door closed. Clara's voice broke. He cheated. I felt something shift inside me. Not anger. Not satisfaction. Just stillness. With who? I asked evenly. Someone from his office, she choked. I found messages. Pictures. I leaned against the wall. I'm sorry. She stared at me. That's all you're going to say? What do you want me to say? I made the biggest mistake of my life, she cried. The words hung in the air between us. I chose wrong, she continued. I threw everything away. I didn't interrupt. He's been lying for months, she said. Controlling me. Accusing me. And he was the one cheating. I nodded slowly. That sounds painful. She stepped closer. Don't be calm. I am calm. Yell at me. Say I deserve it. I don't think you deserve to be cheated on. Her face crumpled. Why are you being like this? Like what? Distant. I considered that. Because I'm not standing at an altar anymore. Tears streamed down her face. I miss you. I didn't respond. I miss how safe I felt, she whispered. You said I was safe? I reminded her quietly. I was wrong. No, I said. You were honest. She shook her head. I was stupid. Silence stretched. I thought I was chasing passion, she continued. But it was just nostalgia. And now I realize what I lost. I studied her face carefully. The desperation was real. Why are you here? I asked. She swallowed. I want you back. The words didn't stab me the way they once would have. I'm married, I said. Her eyes filled again. To her. Yes. That was revenge. Was it? You don't love her. You don't know that. She stepped closer. Do you? I didn't answer immediately. I know you, she said. You married her because I hurt you. That may have been true once. And now it's more complicated. She grabbed my hand. We can fix this. I gently pulled my hand away. Fix what? Us. There is no us. There was. And you ended it. I was confused. You were certain enough to marry him in front of me. Her voice cracked. I panicked. I begged you to look at me that day, I said quietly. You didn't. She covered her mouth. I walked out alone, I continued. You didn't follow. I thought you'd hate me. I did. And now? I took a slow breath. Now I don't. Her eyes widened slightly. I don't hate you. I repeated. I don't love you either. The words felt steady. True. She shook her head. You're lying. I'm not. You can't just turn it off. I didn't, I said. It faded. She stared at me like I had erased something sacred. I left my husband tonight, she whispered. I absorbed that carefully. Is that why you're here? I have nowhere else to go. That's not a reason to come back to me. I chose wrong, she said desperately. Let me choose right. I felt the weight of her words. Behind the bedroom door, there was silence. Lena hadn't interrupted. She hadn't defended herself. She hadn't accused me. She had simply stepped away. Say something, Clara pleaded. I'm thinking. About what? About who I was when you left, I said. And who I am now. She wiped her tears. I can be better. I'm sure you can. Then give me another chance. And what happens when nostalgia hits again? I asked calmly. When someone from your past shows up? It won't. You said that before. She fell silent. I don't want to compete, I continued. Not with your memories. Not with your regrets. You're my future, she insisted. I was your backup, I corrected. That's not true. It felt true. She stepped back like I'd struck her. I was broken when you came tonight, she said. I thought you'd fight for me. I'm not fighting anyone anymore. Her shoulders sagged. So that's it. I haven't decided. Decided what? What kind of man I want to be. She searched my face desperately. And if you choose me? I didn't answer. And if you choose her? I glanced toward the bedroom door. Forgiveness. Revenge. Closure. They all felt possible. I need you to say it, she whispered. Tell me there's no hope. My chest tightened, but my voice stayed calm. I have to choose, I said quietly. And? She asked. I looked at her. The woman who once shattered me and now stood shattered herself. Then I turned slightly toward the hallway where my wife waited in silence. I have to choose, I repeated. And this time, I knew the decision would change everything. I remember standing in the quiet living room, the night still humming outside. Clara had come, desperate, fragile, and I had heard every word, absorbed every tear. But tonight, I knew revenge would not define me. I wanted dignity. You didn't lose me today, I said quietly, locking eyes with her. You lost me the day you doubted me. Her lips trembled. I never meant. Stop, I interrupted. Don't try to explain. You can't fix what's gone. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I thought I could make it right. You can't, I said firmly but gently. I've moved past that version of you. That version doesn't exist for me anymore. She swallowed hard, nodding, but I could see the anguish in her eyes. The people she once manipulated, the control she once had, none of it mattered now. From the hallway, Lena appeared, hesitating. I didn't turn immediately. I could feel her presence, quiet, unassuming, but steady. I need to tell you something, Lena said softly. About me, about why I hurt you all those years ago. I turned toward her. The honesty in her eyes made me pause. Go on. Her voice wavered. I lied because I was jealous, insecure, afraid you'd notice someone else, someone better. I thought hiding the truth would protect me, but all it did was hurt you. I studied her face. No excuses, just raw truth. And now? I asked. I'm not that person anymore, she admitted. I've grown, learned. I understand the damage I caused. I nodded slowly, letting her words sink in. She wasn't the girl who had shattered my trust. And I wasn't the man who would be broken by betrayal anymore. Thank you for telling me, I said. It means more than you know. She exhaled, relief and fear mingling in her eyes. Does this change anything? It changes everything, I said, but not for her. It changes me. I choose who I am today, not who I was yesterday. Clara watched silently, defeated. I didn't look at her again. Her regret was real, but irrelevant. My focus was here, now, with truth and growth. Lena stepped closer, hesitating. Are we okay? I think we can be, I said, a small smile tugging at my lips. But it will take time. Trust isn't given lightly. She nodded, understanding. The weight between us felt lighter, almost liberating. I want to be better, she whispered. Not just for me, but for us, if you allow it. I placed a hand on her shoulder. I see that, and I respect it. But remember, nothing we do will erase the past. It only shapes what we choose next. We stood there for a long moment, the silence filled with unspoken understanding. She wasn't perfect. I wasn't perfect. But we were honest. I thought about all the anger, the revenge fantasies, the nights I replayed betrayals in my head. They felt distant now, meaningless. Dignity was heavier, stronger, and more satisfying than any petty revenge could ever be. Clara's shadow lingered, but I didn't glance back. My choice was made. My focus was forward. Lena finally smiled, tentative but genuine. I hope we can start over. I returned the smile, a quiet, controlled one. We'll see, I said, but only with honesty, only with truth, only with respect. The room felt lighter. For the first time, I breathed freely, unchained from past pain. The real transformation wasn't in anyone else, it was in me. And in that moment, I realized, power isn't control. Power isn't revenge. True strength comes from choosing dignity, from standing tall when betrayal tried to bend you, and from deciding who you allow into your life moving forward. Lena reached for my hand tentatively. I didn't pull away, not because I trusted her completely, not yet, but because I trusted myself to choose wisely this time. We sat together, talking honestly for hours, unpacking old wounds and facing our truths. I listened. I spoke. There were no games, no manipulation, just clarity. By the time night faded into early morning, I felt lighter than I had in years. Not free from memories, not free from pain, but free to define myself. And that, I realized, was a power no betrayal, no heartbreak, and no past lover could ever take away from me. I remember the quiet that settled after the chaos of Clara's departure. Adrian left her, of course. I had heard whispers through friends before I saw her, but witnessing it unfold still felt surreal. People who once flocked to her, friends, acquaintances, now avoided her. I didn't feel glee or satisfaction. I only felt calm. Seems like things are changing, Daniel said, leaning against the doorway, his tone casual, but I caught the undercurrent of curiosity. They are, I said softly, sipping my coffee. But I'm not celebrating. Karma doesn't need my help. Daniel raised an eyebrow. Not even a little? I shook my head. Not even a little. Let her face the consequences naturally. My focus is elsewhere now. I glanced at Lena across the table. She smiled, small but genuine, holding a notebook filled with my plans for the future. She hadn't said much about the past, hadn't asked for explanations. She simply stayed, respecting silence, offering support, and proving she had changed. I've been thinking, I started, keeping my voice low. Trust doesn't return overnight, does it? Lena shook her head. No. But respect grows when actions match words. Exactly, I said, letting out a soft laugh. It's funny. I used to think love meant forgiving everything instantly. Now I realize it's about consistency, honesty, patience. She nodded. And boundaries. Yes, boundaries. I agreed, the weight of past mistakes fading as I spoke. I've learned a lot about myself these past months. About betrayal, heartbreak, and resilience. Lena tilted her head, studying me. Do you think Clara understands what she lost? I shook my head. Maybe. Or maybe she'll never understand. Either way, it's not my concern. The lesson is for me, and for anyone who sees the choices we make. Daniel chuckled, a knowing smile on his face. And the girl who once hurt you, she's now your partner? I glanced at Lena, feeling a quiet warmth. Yes, she's different. We're different, but we're honest. That matters more than anything. The evening settled softly around us. The city lights twinkled outside the window. I thought back to my wedding day with Clara, the illusions, the heartbreak, the sudden emptiness. At the time, I believed I had lost everything. But now, I realized something different. I hadn't lost everything. I had lost an illusion. And in its place, I found something stronger, something grounded in trust, respect, and truth. Lena reached for my hand, tentative but sure. I didn't hesitate. The touch was steady, reassuring. No promises of perfection, no demands. Just mutual understanding. She married her first love that day. I whispered, almost to myself. But I married the girl who learned how to love me right. I smiled, feeling the weight of past pain lift completely. For the first time in a long while, I was free, not just from heartbreak, but from illusions and the shadows of my own expectations. We sat together quietly, talking about small things, making plans, and laughing softly. It wasn't dramatic or grandiose. It didn't need to be. The foundation we built was solid, patient, and real. And that was enough. More than enough. The world outside could keep its chaos. I had found calm, love, and strength in honesty. For the first time, I didn't fear the future. I was ready to embrace it, hand in hand with someone who valued me, who had learned to respect me, and who would grow with me. The past was behind me, the illusions dissolved, and karma had done its work. I could finally step forward with clarity, pride, and quiet joy. She married her first love that day, but I married the girl who learned how to love me right.